There are some amazing skills in Assassin's Creed Valhalla that you want to unlock as soon as possible because they will make your life way easier. And in this video I will tell you about those skills, how to best use them, and of course where you can find them as well. Because they are not revealed in the skill line, of course, immediately. A like on the video would really help the channel out. And let's go. I'm doing a 2300 Helix pack giveaway, so you can get one of those packs without spending money. All you need to do is click the link in the pinned comment for a chance to win, and be sure you are a subscriber of the channel before you enter, and good luck. Okay, let's start with the grid skill that you find over here on the skill tree. Of course you have to reveal things yourself, but now you at least know where to spend points to in the end get here. Healing in this game is mostly based on food, and you can of course run out of that pretty fast, especially when fighting bosses. And that's what makes grid so perfect. Because with this skill you can get health back after being hit by an enemy and hitting them quickly afterwards. Although I say quickly, but here I get thrown away and then can still get some health back after running back to the enemy and hitting him. So the window is pretty insane. And you do not even have to really focus on this, because in regular combat you will be hitting enemies regularly as well after you get hit by them. So they can basically completely ignore or at least partly negate the damage that the enemy just did. I found that this was amazing during Salad fights because they will be dealing a ton of damage in a single strike. And the more damage the enemy does with one attack, the more you get back when you hit them. So when you get hit, just try and attack the enemy as fast as possible, because then you will get health back and it will then feel as if the enemy did not hit you. Again, the window is huge and you can actually see how long you have to hit the enemy thanks to an icon above your health. It will appear when you get hit and then disappear when you strike the enemy. And you can even use your bow for this as well, as long as you hit the same enemy who dealt damage to you. So especially nice again in boss fights when it's just one enemy to worry about. And this skill actually goes hand in hand with another amazing skill you want to unlock, Last Chance Healing. That, as the name suggests, gives you a last chance when you are about to die. And this time can then also be spent on hitting an enemy to get some health back thanks to the grid skill. But you can of course also use it to get away or heal yourself by using food. Sometimes enemies will deal way more damage than expected, especially when going to higher power level regions. So then having this second chance is really nice. And you can actually also use it to cheat a little when jumping off mountains. Like if a fall would kill you, you will now instead go into this slow motion state, so you still survive. But to really deal with fall damage, you want to unlock the break fall skill that I now cannot live without. When this is unlocked, Aver will automatically do a roll when hitting the ground, so this will ignore all the damage or significantly reduce it when you still jump from a high mountain. Health does not regenerate in this game, and it's not ideal to spend food on fall damage, and also spending time to find the right path to go down is no fun either. So that's why I really love this skill. It's a nice quality of life improvement, the closer we get to the 0 fall damage that we had in Odyssey. Let's look at some amazing assassin skills right now that will make it possible to already infiltrate some high power level zones and get loot and rewards that you are supposed to get later on in the game. Advanced assassination is of course the key here, because with this skill you can one-hit KO every enemy even if they would not die from a regular assassinate. And I'm actually surprised by how easy it is to pull off these quick time events. It will get harder the enemy is, but it's still not impossible. And you can combine this with the chain assassination skill, killing an enemy with one hit if you once again successfully complete the quick time event. So then they will instantly die without getting close. And you might have seen my Thorn of Slumber tactic already. With this you can put an enemy to sleep. It works on almost all the enemies, and then run up to them to do an assassinate, and then the advanced assassination can also trigger if the enemy would not die from a regular assassinate. So they can also instantly take them out. And I, by the way, found the second upgrade to this ability, which is insane, because then you shoot this cloud, putting multiple enemies that are close to each other to sleep. You find that one over here on the map, and I will totally highlight more powerful abilities in a future video, but I already wanted to share this, because this in combination with the chain assassination is just super powerful. And you can of course find the first Thorn of Slumber in Norway, and I already highlighted that in my early things video. And speaking of abilities that require adrenaline, totally go for the extra adrenaline upgrades in the skill menu as well. You see some of them here, like having multiple of them will help you a ton in boss encounters, where with a harpoon you can for example deal a lot of damage. I've now been using the man's best friend ability a lot as well, that will summon this wolf that will throw the enemy on the ground. You get this ability, by the way, from a settlement mission called A Little Problem, and I think you unlock it after your settlement reaches rank 4. That's at least when I got the mission. So this wolf will grab the attention from the enemy and then jump on him, and this will also create an opening for a stomp, so you can deal even more damage. And stomp is another skill that you totally want to unlock, especially when using a hammer that will easily throw enemies on the ground with just one heavy attack. So totally spent a few skill points to get this skill, like it's very early in the skill line. And I say hammer, but also when using a spear or other heavy weapon, you will be throwing enemies, especially smaller enemies, on the ground real fast. And you see me demonstrated here with the heavy dual wielding skill, with a spear and a shield, which is quite strong thanks to the range that no other weapon has. And it's really about preference, but I think heavy dual wielding totally deserves a mention in a video like this. It namely creates way more options for the dual wielding system, because now two-handed weapons can be used in one hand. So you can use two two-handed weapons or use one two-handed weapon and a shield, for example, so you can still easily parry incoming attacks, while you have the strength of an axe, spear or sword. You now also see me do the sprint attack in combination with the spear, and that's another amazing combo. And overall, the sprint attack skill is really great because it gives you like a great first hit when coming out of a sprint. Also great against bosses that only have a small opening where you can only get one hit in, because this will deal more damage. Another amazing skill that will be familiar if you played Odyssey, Brush with Death, a slow motion on a dodge. And just like in Odyssey, this is amazing to, kind of get an overview of the battlefield and strike when the enemies are not able to do anything back. If you prefer archery, then I think that the hunter bow combo skill is the best one out there. There are 3 different bows in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, almost comparable to Origins, but I really only use the hunter's bow because of this skill. So I think the arrows from this bow, when you finish drawing, will always be more powerful than when you do not get the timing right. But it's kinda hard to tell without this skill. If you namely have the hunter bow combo, your crosshair will actually change when you hit that sweet spot, and then you launch a way more precise and faster arrow onto the enemies. Arrows that can also create openings when they wear a shield. Like even against assault enemies with a huge shield, a perfectly timed arrow will stun them. And also other enemies that normally can like ignore incoming arrows. So apart from the crosshair, this skill also makes it possible to pull off these stronger arrows faster after each other. If you namely hit one perfectly timed shot, the second one will take less time to draw. So you can fire it faster, which is really nice, making archery way better. But early on in the game, I was focused on getting arrow reinforcement. That lets you pick up arrows after you use them, like when you miss, you can pick them up again, or when you hit an enemy and get close enough, you will also get the arrow back. You will still run out of arrows often though, even with this skill, but it will help you a lot if you like to use the bow often. I also mentioned the bow stun finisher in a previous video, which I also like to use. Hit a weak spot of the enemy and then finish them off from afar without having to run up to them and stun finish them that way. Like, there are many great skills, but the ones that I mentioned here are the ones that I use the most. But let me know your favorite skills in the comments down below, and totally subscribe for way more Valhalla content if you haven't already. Way more videos are coming your way and already up on the channel. A like would really help me out, and you can also join my Discord and talk Valhalla with me and other people by following the link in the pinned comment, and totally check out my previous Valhalla video with tips and tricks by clicking on the screen. For now though, I will speak to you next time, and goodbye.